Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, The Lost Chevalier, and you're welcome to the SCP Foundation. We will hit random SCP, and after this video, I'm gonna do the SCP even number that one of my subscribers has asked me to do. But first, I want to go for the old random SCP, hit it, and let's see where we land. SCP-3097. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-13971 through 5 are contained in a single secure containment. Locker at Site 91. Copies of the text of all instances of SCP-3097 are available and may be accessed by any researcher of Level 1 clearance or above. Experimentation involving any instance of SCP-3097 requires Level 3 approval. Personnel reporting drown signs or fatigue are not to be allowed within 10 meters of SCP-3097's containment locker. As of redacted of 20 redacted, Agents Browning and Murphy, along with several Level 2 researchers, are stationed in Prague, in Spanish is Praga, in Prague, in order to track down the immediate family members of Mr. Redacted and his artistic associate, and to determine the authors of SCP-1397 2 through 5. Description: SCP-1397 1 through 5 are a set of 5 travel guides that describe rural locations in former Czechoslovakia. The author of the 5 books is listed as one redacted. However, linguistic analysis of the text has indicated that each book was written by a different author. As no evidence of a redacted has been located, the name is most likely a pseudonym. It's the Spanish coming through. While there is no copyright page or publisher information present, the information within the book suggests that they were written in the early 50s. The anomalous effect of SCP-3097 manifests when a human subject falls asleep or otherwise becomes unconscious within 5 meters of an instance of SCP-3097. Subjects report finding themselves awake and standing in a location described in their particular instance of SCP-3097 upon entering the unconscious state. Despite this, the subject's body does not move or vanish from its original location, and appears to remain unconscious. Surveillance reveals no anomalous activity at the location the subject claims to visit. Subject reports of their experience differ, except for the presence of unrealistic and surreal events, often referred to as dreamlike. In spite of this, many subjects will emphatically defend the reality of their experiences, even when provided with evidence of the contrary. Over time, the incidence of these dream-like events increases, 92% of awake naturally after a period of 18 to 12 hours. Subjects may also be awoken through normal means, with the same results. The 8% of subjects who do not awake after a period of 12 hours will cease all vital signs after being unconscious for a period of time ranging from 13 to 24 hours. 10. Subjects who awake after having experienced SCP-3097's effect are confused and hostile, and become nervous and upset when questioned about the reality of the perceived event. In addition, subjects express the belief that all of their dreams are in fact real events, accompanied with a fear of said dreams. These delusions may be treated with regular psychotherapy, and often subsides on their own within several months. Aside from these psychological effects, all anomalous properties of SCP-1397 cease upon the subject's awakening. A short message has been written in pen on the title page of SCP-1397 2 through 5. See Addendum 3097-D. Handwriting analysis suggests that all 4 messages were written by the same individual. Addendum 3097-A. Interview Log 3097-1. Interview D-3097-5. Interviewer Dr. Redacted. Forward. D-3097-5 underwent testing with SCP-1397-1 and awoke after 11 hours. 30 minutes after D-3097-5's awakening, the following interview was conducted to determine the nature of D-3097's experience during these 11 hours. D-3097-5 was selected for her professional experience with lucid dreaming and her history of calm behavior during the time with the Foundation. Why do you have to execute her then? That's the question. I know it's part of the Foundation. They keep monsters away. They literally take the worst of society and they terminate them after using them. But still, if they are useful, why do you do that? Dr. J. Redactor. Dr. J. Let's call it Dr. J. Maybe his name is Joseph. D-3097-5, could you explain what you saw upon becoming unconscious? Well, after the tracks or whatever you gave me kick in, I figured I'm dozing off, right? But then, next thing you know, I'm wide awake, standing shin deep in warm mud. So I look around, and there are a couple of pigs around, and after a little while I realize I'm in some kind of farm. And what did you do once you realized that? Well, I got out the fucking pig pen. Figured I might as well take a look around. I saw the farmhouse a little while away, but I wasn't going anywhere near that thing. Though it would be pretty stupid if the test ended in me getting arrested for trespassing, right, Doc? Anyway, there was a barn, a couple of cows, and this huge-ass wheat field. Nothing weird about them, as far as I could tell, so I strolled out towards the woods and the edge of the fields, and that's when shit got weird. Could you elaborate on that? Well, I hear someone shout at me, and I turn around at some lady standing outside the farmhouse. It scared me half to death, cause I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just told me not to go to the woods because there was wolves in the woods. What do you think of that? Honestly, I was just wondering how she even knew I was out there. Then I figured, well, wolves are more scared of you than you are of them, right? And I used to climb trees as a hobby, so I wasn't really scared. If anything, I figured that it'd be kinda nice to see something interesting like that, so I just ignored her and headed out into the trees. Lots of brush to wade through, a couple birds, but other than that I didn't notice a thing out of place for, well, must have been an hour or so, I don't know. What happened after that? I started hearing sounds from the bushes. At first I assumed it was a squirrel or a bunny or some shit, but then it kept happening, and I didn't see anything around. And well, I wasn't scared, but I thought, if something is following me, I can't just let it get me, so I tried to speed up the pace a little. Except I couldn't, my legs just wouldn't do it. And let me tell you, that was hell weird, but I told myself it was just some weird ass book doing weird ass shit, and I kept walking for, what, 5 minutes? Until my clothes went away. Went away? Uh-huh. Just went away. Like that fucking dream where you were out in public and realized, whoops, forgot my pants, except Doc, I was walking through some pretty thorny plants right before that. So I'm damn sure I noticed the exact moment I didn't have my pants and shoes to protect me. So I stopped walking and had like 5 seconds and to think about this before the shit hits the fan. You see, Doc, turned out the trees were the wolves. Cool? Could you explain that further, D-3096-5? I don't fucking know. D-3096 pauses, takes several deep breaths. Sorry, I brushed against one of the trees and that hit me at once. And it all hit me at once. It wasn't a tree, none of them were trees. They'd never been trees. They were wolves, a whole shitload of them. And they were staring at me with split gleaming of their tongues, and I could see every hair of their faces, and they were laughing at me. I swear, I could run again, and the moment I started running, I knew I wasn't dreaming. I'd never been dreaming. How can you be sure of that? Doc, you know how in dreams you can just accept the bizarre shit your mind throws at you? Like it's just another part of the experience? They felt foreign, contrived. Like it was trying too hard to be weird, you know? I suppose. What happened after you ran then? I got back to the field and it was more a blur of image than anything. I saw my mom standing there trying to talk to me, but all my heart was cowing. But all I heard was cowing. Like she was a fucking crow or something. Then I looked down and I saw that I was fucking pregnant. And suddenly there was this armchair next to me, and I knew that I'd given birth to it. and it talked to me, and it told me that I was running out of time. D-1397-5 rests her head in her hand for several seconds before continuing. Then the ground gave out under my feet. I fell and I woke up, I guess, in the testing room. Can you tell me how you felt when you woke up? D-1396-5 is silent for about 15 seconds before speaking. Relieved. And can you tell me why that is? I got out. It let me out. It let me get out. It? The dream, or whatever it was, Doc. I knew it wasn't a dream. And I think it knew that I found it. That I found out. And that's why it got so weird at the end. It was trying to convince me that it was a dream. It felt frustrated, I guess. And if I stayed much longer, I don't think it would have let me out. Thank you, D-1397-5. That will be all for now. End log. Oh, the recovery logs. Addendum 1397-B, SCP-1397-1 recovery log. SCP-1397-1 was originally recovered in 1950 redacted during a Foundation investigation of a group of Czechoslovakian surrealist authors, after reports indicated that the writers may have been involved with reports of unusual ritual activity suspected to relate to SCP. We will never know. While the original reports were proven false, one member of the group, let's call him A, confesses under interrogation to involvement with creating an anomalous item and willingly handed over SCP-1397-1, at the time believed to be the only one of this kind, to the Foundation. Mr. H expressed disgust towards the item, referring to it as his greatest failure, but refused to elaborate further. Mr. H was eventually administered Class C amnestics and released, and his associates were not, at the time, believed to be involved with the item. They were administered Class A amnestics and released. Samples of Mr. H's writing taken from his apartment suggest that he was the author of SCP-1397-1. As of an undisclosed date, Mr. H and his former artistic associates have been confirmed as deceased. Addendum 1397-C, Incident 1397-1. Undisclosed date, an undisclosed number of students living in the dorms of Charles University in Prague reported symptoms similar to SCP-1397-1 exposure. Unredacted fatalities occurring within these dorms. The Foundation successfully prevented media from learning of the events and administered Class B amnestic to surviving victims and witnesses. SCP-1397-2 through 5 were recovered from the hallway of the affected dorms, where they had been deliberately placed to expose a maximum number of students within two SCP-1397's events. Someone was a prick. Over half of the affected students were discovered to have attended a lecture on solipsism and the psychology of dreams, given by Professor Redacted the previous day. Mr. Redacted was fatally shot by Foundation agents after attempting to resist detainment with deadly force. Mr. Redacted fingerprints were later found in SCP-1397-2 through 5. Analysis done on papers found within the apartment suggests that this guy is the author of the writing message on the titles of SCP-1397-2 through 5. A match has yet to be found for the writing styles of SCP-1397-2 through 5. Investigation is underway to determine whether any of Mr. H's known associates has any involvement with SCP-1397. Addendum D transcript of SCP-1397-2 through 5. If they want us to see that dream and really were one, what it's to say that reality was a dream, or so does say that dream is a reality seen in a different light. So basically a pamphlet of some kind of... It's a pamphlet that literally says, hey, you want to travel someplace? I can take you there. Just dream. Okay, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you have a blast. I was the Lost Chevalier, signing out. Bye bye.